Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaking the seven seals. Let's bring in our audio audience. The Black Alert hour of the fire zone. Brothers and sisters, this is Predators Part 2. I said I would go into a little more detail, so here it is. Where's a predator? See, a predator is something that preys on others. Lions are predators. See? A zebra is not a predator. We see the Europeans, they are predator species. All their so-called see here, all their so-called great empires were predator empires. Every one of them. They celebrate them. Right? The Roman Empire, Greek Empire, so forth, so on. The British Empire, American Empire, two world empires, Britain and America. God can make God. They celebrate that. When you're in school, at least when I was in school, that's all I talk about was European conquests, European empires. And celebrate them. See? But they kind of brush over the fact that they preyed on other people. Roman Empire got powerful by preying on other countries, other people. The Greek Empire the same. You heard about so-called Alexander the Great. What's so great about him? He was going around attacking other countries that had nothing to do with Greece. Then you got the conquistadors that followed behind Columbus. All predators come and take other people's stuff. That was the sole purpose, to come and take other people's stuff. And we celebrate them? And they did it all under the banner of the cross. Under the banner of the cross. Yeah, they tell you, hey man, this is the right religion, man. You gotta believe in this. He said, knowing by their works, if that's the works of the cross, then what God are they serving? Because if that's how you roll, if that's how they roll, what problem, that's how their God rolls, what problem could they possibly have with Satan? If that's the way the Christian God rolls, taking people's land, genocide, slavery, and oppression, if that's the way the Christian God rolls, then what problem could they possibly have with Satan? Because Jesus told them, he says, no, Satan is God of this world. So if Satan is God of this world, that's what they're praying to. Is that why most Christians don't give God a name, just say God? Because that's the only God that can support. Are you saying Jesus supports genocide, rape, murder, and theft? Is that what you attribute to Jesus? Is it? This is the no bullshit zone. Stop the bullshit. That's how they got everything they got. They didn't get it by roses. They didn't get it by praying. They didn't get it by, being nice and kind. They got it by rape, murder, theft, destruction. That's all they left in their wake. Every place they went, that's what they left behind. So are you saying, was that Jesus they was representing, or was it Satan? Because if it was Jesus, then what problem could they possibly have with Satan? You got to break these things down, brothers and sisters. Oh no, don't pay attention to that. Just believe. Okay. No, you go ahead. It's your life you're playing with. So talking about the predators. So we're going to try to explain this a little better. See, I explained about the energy deprivation. See, we went through 50,000 years of energy deprivation. Universe expands. That's all the energy is out there now. It used to be here. And so we were suffering energy deprivation. We came to a phase where energy levels are very low. So we lost the power to control the universe, control our planet, control our societies, control our civilizations, control our people, control ourselves. Eventually, at the end of it, we end up losing control of our very self. That was slavery. But see, we don't believe in invisible stuff, because there's no such thing. See, because we make everything, we personify everything. So 6,000 years ago, we allowed Dr. Yakub to personify energy deprivation because it became so acute. That means they would be our energy deprivation. It's like I try to point out, in the wintertime, if you made a people the personification of winter, then you would see summer all the wintertime. You would see summer every day. Be nice, warm and everything. But you'd be these winter people. They would personify the winter. And they'd be pouring cold. I mean, they'd be pouring ice on people and hail and snow. Every time you come around here, you get a blitzkrieg of hail and snow. And so, because they would be the personification of the winter. And they'd be all over the place. See, but you had the opportunity to avoid them if you can recognize them. You have the opportunity to avoid them. See, that's the benefit of personification. But if they get hold of you, then you get feel the full blast of winter. See, pour hail on you, right? Cover you with snow. Hug you with a blizzard. That's what personification means. They'll be personification people. So you do that so you wouldn't have a atmospheric winter. See, because on the winter would just be like the spring or fall or something. But because you had the winter people, they represent. So you had the opportunity to avoid them. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. See, so Dr. Yakub made our energy deprivation, personified it in the devils. See, so what they would take, and they would, because energy deprivation meant that we couldn't control things. So we would still try to control them, and so we would control them. But what they would do is they would come. What they would do is they would come and What they would do is they would come and destabilize it. If you try to set up something, they would destroy it. You try to put a civilization together, they would destroy it. Whatever you try to put together, they would just destroy it. See? To the extent of deprivation. See, like when we say we're going to make winter people a personification of winter, that means they would have power during the winter. See, their power would be because they're in sync with the winter, so their power will be generated because they're in sync with the winter months. But when spring comes, they would have no power anymore because they're the personification of winter. So in spring, they would have no power anymore. See? No power anymore in the spring. See? And that's the same thing with these people, the devils. See, their time is over. See, we have 4 seasons every 25,000 years, every possibly 24,000 years. 6,000 year seasons. And they had 6,000. They was like the winter season. Now we're going into spring. Spring is new life. Life is generated. Life springs. See? And so now their power is over. They don't realize it, but their power is over. They don't come to realize it soon because they have no power. They just look like they have power. It's just like spring comes, you see mounds of snow here and there, right? But you know, you know, it's gone. It'll be gone in a few days because it cannot withstand the power of the sun. Can't withstand the power of spring. They're the personification of winter, 6,000 year winter. And now their power is over. But they're still acting. They still have the instincts. See, they still have the instincts of being a bully. They've been a bully for the last 6,000 years. They have instincts without the power. And that's what's going to make their downfall even more profound. Because they're going to go out there thinking they can kick everybody's ass, then find out that they get their ass kicked instead. See, because they still got the instincts of power without the power. See? So you had an instinct like a bully. Oh man, I'm you know, he kicking everybody, been kicking everybody's ass for all year. See? And then he goes, right? He goes kick, and then everybody jumps in and kicks his ass. He has no power anymore, but he has instincts. See? And his instincts get him in trouble. Because if he stopped bullying people, then nobody would come after him. As soon as he started, they gang up on him. So America still has these instincts, right? And so they bluffing and pushing and aggravating people. They don't know they're doing to their own destruction. Because people are going to turn on them and they found that they have no power. See, right now they have the illusion of power. The bully has illusion of power. See? Oh man, he's got that bully. See? He has illusion of power, but he doesn't have power anymore. See, because people are organized, ganged up. And if he attacks them, they don't tear his ass up. He don't know that. He doesn't have any power. But he thinks he does. And so when he attacks, right? When he attacks, they take him out. And that's what's happened with America. See? But America's a predator nation. All the Europeans are predators. How did they get America? They got it from stealing the country, killing its inhabitants, and bringing us over here and destroying us. It said the devils would, said what would the devils do? It said the devils would go out to steal, kill, and destroy. That's exactly what the Europeans did everywhere they went. Stole people's land, killed off the inhabitants, and destroyed people. Destroyed the nation, destroyed us. So it's easy to recognize them, brothers and sisters, if you read the scripture, if you believe in the scripture. So they point you all this side BS, right? See, distract you with all kinds of stuff. The scripture is clear. The scriptures are very clear. Even with Magog and Magog. Read chapter 20. They tell, oh, my God's going to be destroyed when they attack false Israel. They're going to be destroyed. God's going to be destroyed. And then they tell you chapter 20 is in the future. That's the millennia, where Jesus will come back, right? They're going to throw the devil and all them in the bottomless pit. Then afterwards, Gog and Magog. Wait, I thought Gog and Magog was destroyed. How are they going to come back out of this pit if they was destroyed? Oh, how is that going to happen? Because that's already happened. It's not in the future. That's the past. That was there 1,000 years in the Dark Ages, where they was bottled up. They talking about the Great Chain. That was the Great Chain. Was Islamic Islamic Empire. They had them bottled up for 1,000 years. Had them bottled up for 1,000 years. See? And then they came out. 2 world empires. It covered the whole earth. That means European will have 2 world empires. Only 2 world empires Europeans ever had was Great Britain and America. It's clear, brothers and sisters. Like I said, the truth is very clear. Just take off those fog glasses. But they turn you into Negro butts 400 years ago. And so, right? So you're not supposed to think. You program. They program you. It took 64 years to program you, from 1555 to 1619. And most of you are still programmed. Elijah Muhammad deprogrammed a lot of you. He deprogrammed a lot of you. And then Farrakhan came and reprogrammed you again. But you're going to be deprogrammed in a minute. Some of you too late. But the predators, see? And that means that their ideas, their institutions and everything, we predatory in nature. Capitalism, democracy, they're all predatory in nature. Particularly capitalism. Did you analyze capitalism? Oh, I'm a capitalist. Have you analyzed what capitalism is? What's the main object of capitalism? Right? Profit. What's the maximum profit? Slavery. You give them the work and you have to pay them anything. Slavery was a capitalist system. And you got these Negro busts walking around here, especially demons, because they set the stage, they set the tone. Oh man, capitalists, we're capitalists. Really? Capitalism was enslaved you. The demons as well as the original people. It was capitalism. They made big profits. Some of these institutions, like I think Lehman Brothers, some of these institutions, they got rich off of you. And they're still around today. It was the Jews that financed the slave trade. They were the financiers of it, of the slave trade. Financiers. But they don't want you to know that. Capitalism. Exploitation. That's what it's all about. So they became the personification of energy deprivation. So therefore, what they would do anytime you come in contact with them, they would destroy anything that you tried to build up because they had to keep the balance. The balance at that time during that energy deprivation means that you have negative energy. You have negative energy. That's why it said Adam was gave rule, because he wouldn't have negative energy. He'd be negative, but he wouldn't have negative energy because everybody gets the same amount of energy. See? Because God is just. It's all mathematics. But if you're trying to operate a Lamborghini and someone else trying to operate a Volkswagen Beetle on the same salary, right? Okay, say for instance, you get $1,000, you get $1,000 a month, right? And it takes $1,500 a month to maintain a Lamborghini. Well, you upside down. But when it takes $500 to operate a Volkswagen Beetle, you upside. See? Because you got $500 disposable income. The other person got $500 in debt. So you round about town doing things, the other person is going in debt. And that's the way it is. That's what Dr. Yakub did. That's the science behind it. He produced a stripped down version of us that had no accessories, no conscience, right? Analytical, right? Circumcised, that means the skin tone gone. See? No skin, no skin coloring. See? Devils. Wicked. They're weaker than us, right? And they could eat stuff that we could not eat, pork and everything else, all that stuff, right? Because you can put any kind of gas in a Volkswagen Beetle. They don't care. Anything, would probably put perfume in there and a run. They don't need much maintenance, anything. And that's the nature, that's the science behind it. That's the mathematics behind it. So now they have power to rule. Because we was in a period of energy deprivation. And the last 50,000 years, and it was acute stage of it the last 500, 600 years of it. That we lost, we were so energy deprived, right, that we lost control of ourselves. See? And they personification of it, so they had control of us. See? So they personification of our losing control of ourselves, because if we didn't have control of ourselves, it means somebody had control of us. If we didn't have control of ourselves, so they had control of us. You understand? So it's nothing invisible, nothing hidden behind this heavens and all this kind of stuff, all kinds of sixth dimension, right? These I forget the name of it again, right? Anyway, metaphysics people. See, we bring everything from the dark into the light. See, we bring anything unseen, we make it seen. We don't have it unseen in our reality. It's unseen your reality because you just don't know where it is, like an undercover agent. You don't know who he is. He's invisible because you just don't know who he is. but he's not invisible. To those who know who he is, he's not invisible. You don't. The demons are invisible to you because you don't know who they are. Until I told you, the devils are invisible because you don't know who they are. Until Elijah told you, the jinn are not invisible. You just don't know who they are until I told you. So there's no. So if you want to believe in this invisible stuff, continue. So when you understand how the personification works, right? So in other words, if you avoid devils, right, then you can have some degree of benefit, but you have to avoid them. We couldn't avoid them. They had lost so control of they boys right here. We couldn't avoid them. They was all we totally plagued, surrounded by them. And then they took another step further. They created the greatest enemy we ever had. You think the devil's our greatest enemy? They are open enemy, but the hidden enemy, that's those demons. And you didn't know what a demon was till I told you. They've been roaming this planet for 600 years, undetected, all over the planet, right? You had Chinese demons, you had Asian demons, right? You had African demons, you had demons all, because they spread their seed all over the planet to destabilize the planet. You know, so it make it easy, like they call it in the military, soften you up. So it make it easy for them to come in with their predatory nature and rip you apart. Because the demons set you up. They cause confusion. All of a sudden, why we got all this confusion here? Why is everybody nervous? Why is everybody upset? And why all this contention? Because you have a society that was homogeneous, where everybody's getting along, harmony. And all of a sudden, you got all this dissatisfaction, you got grief, you got turmoil all over the world. You see all these countries, all of a sudden, you get protests and people arguing and fighting with each other. When they didn't have that before the Europeans showed up. Because the demons are there. And demons, they put there purposely because they have the same mentality as their devil's daddies. The seed comes from the man. You start out as a sperm. They have the same mentality. See? So they can be disruptive. And that's their purpose. And we got it worse than everybody else. Because we said 50% of the blacks in America are demons. See? China got rid of a lot of their demons. They might not call them demons, but that's what they were. The ones that were disruptive and everything else. See, they got a virtually harmonic society because they got rid of most of their demons. You call it communism, whatever you want to say. And about communism, see, they're talking about, communism, I hate communism. I'm not going to do all this communist thing. But you know who started communism? They ain't going to tell you that part. Karl Marx. He was a Jew. He the one who started communism. I'm not embracing any of that stuff because we have our own system. But I'm going to try to get some analogies here, then we're going to move on. Or move out. Or close out. Say you're on an island. Okay? And you got people on the island. And you got one little store. Right? See? And the people, they buy goods, things they need from the store. See? So that, yeah, that's the economy. That's your economy. You got the store and you got the people, right? And then, the population increases. Well, you got to employ those people. So only business you had on the island is a store. So that means they got to start employing. They got to employ people. Somebody, they only hire. They don't know business hiring anybody. So they got to hire somebody. Somebody's got to hire these people. So the only one can do it is them. Because they're the only business. So they got to hire people. That means they got to sell more product. See, they pay salaries. They got to sell more product. See. So that means they need more people on the island to sell more product. See? So it's like a tiger chases tail type of thing. Because you got more people. That means you got to hire them. But you need more people, right, to buy the product so you can do that. Right? So it keeps growing. So you got to keep on, the population keeps growing, so you got to hire more people. And you need more people, right, to buy more stuff. See? So you have to keep that process going. But if people stop buying, then you can't pay the salaries of the people. Then you got to let them go. So now you got, the business is falling apart, right? And because they ain't selling anything, but now But one thing I didn't say here. Okay, you got the people there, right? So as it grows, that means the people require, you got to support these people. I mean, they need food and things, so you have to have a way to, they need food and stuff like that, right? So the population grows, you need more people, but you just got to feed more people too. See? You got to feed more people. And therein lies the problem. See? Because the island only produces so much food. The earth only produces so much food. They can farm it all they want to, but it's only so much energy that the earth produces on a daily basis, or say a yearly basis. See? Just like oil and stuff, the earth produces that. How it produces it? Because it converts organic matter, right, into oil, and breaks it down to oil and to topsoil and stuff. The earth does that. It's part of the process of the earth, right? How the earth works. The mechanics of the earth, the dynamics, the mechanics of it. So the island only produces so much food. Remember, you need more people. But as you get more people, right, then there's more demands on the food. That's why you get to the point where there's not enough food to feed all the people that you need to sell the food to, right? So you have no money to hire people. You understand the problem? So what do? See? Because the population is increasing, right? So you got to employ these people, right? But there's no food to feed the people. Not enough. But you need more people so you can employ the people. You understand, bro? Am I making it clear enough? Well, that's the problem America's in right now. See, this predatory system is against against nature. It's against the way. See, we designed this. Like it says, make, own, or cream the planet Earth. We designed the Earth to operate a certain way. It's a biological product, and their whole system is against it. But it worked for them, right, during their period of time, because they kept the population low, right? Because that was what they did. Remember, they're the personification of energy deprivation. So in other words, they kept you energy deprived at the point of death. They were spreading death all over the planet, at least on that hemisphere, from Europe all the way down to Africa, to northern Africa, maybe even Central Africa. They said Romans went into a little further than Egypt. I'm not sure how far they went. They caused destabilization and death and famine because they was a predatory nation. So they was the one that was, because energy deprivation would have kept the population low by drought and all those type of things. But since you got the personification, well, they would do it by killing the people, wars and everything else. Because that's all they did. Rome was constant war, so was Greece. Predatory nations. And America has made a science of it. See? So they kept the populations low because they was constantly at war, killing people, causing drought. They had practice of the enemy. They would take and put salt in the land so nothing would grow. There are all kinds of tactics like that. That's how they got rich, by taking other people's stuff. And if you resisted, then they would wipe you out. Like I said, or they were so salt in your land so you couldn't grow anything. That was their period of time because they winter people. They went out freezing, hail, snow, sleet, raining that down on the people. See, to the extent of their energy deprivation. See? So then, right, they came up with this capitalism. Now I'm not going to go into, I asked the question, why is America so innovative when all the other European countries are not? You say, they copying. Even China, they all copy. They copy cars, electricity, all the stuff that's been innovative here. Why? They was basically a agrarian society for 6,000 years. right? See horse and buggy, see swords, spears. Then suddenly, once they bring us over here, all this innovation starts. You better ask yourself the question about this because we're the root of it. That's what they don't want you to know. I'm not going into details about it, but that's what they don't want you to know. We're the root of it. Because Germany is almost all Caucasian. I mean, they're the best, right? So they should be innovative. Oh, they made rocks, but they got that from China. Britain, all of them should be innovative. But no, it's right here where we are. So we think about that one. But they praying on us. And right now they had that problem because that's why they opened up China. See, they opened China up. You see, because they needed more people. So they got to sell their products because the population increasing, right? Then they have to take and employ more people. They got to sell stuff. See, it's a bad model. It's a model that seemed to work, but it wasn't a working model. That it would not work, right? Because it would not work in the springtime. They winter people, put it that way. And so they open the market. But the point is, they got, and thing is that energy deprivation officially was over in 1948. Now our people, right, are in a state of self-imposed energy deprivation, which the demons, because they have enough energy to maintain themselves now, but the demons are constantly convincing them to use the energy for other things. So they're suffering all kinds of physical ailments and all kinds of different kinds of bad luck and everything because they're misusing their energy when they have enough energy to maintain themselves, but they're not using it that way. Because demons say, "No, man, do this, invest in American dream and all this kind of stuff." That's another issue altogether. See, but energy deprivation ended in 1948 officially. See, so all of a sudden you got a bursting population because people are living longer and the population is growing dramatically. See the problem? Because the earth cannot support it. Earth cannot support the population. And it says, it's doubling every 25 years or something like that. That means 25 years from now, if you got 8 billion people, you're going to have 16 billion. And the earth cannot support. That's why the Quran says earth has to lay down its burden. Because it's a burden to the earth, all these people. It cannot support them. But they need them to keep selling stuff so they can employ the people. See? So they had a problem. They said, well, we need all these people. That's why we went to China. China's a big market. See? And China is the most populous nation on the earth. And India is right behind it. But we need these people. But the earth cannot support these people. You see what I'm saying? So there's a conundrum there. We need them, but the earth can't support them, right? Can't support them, right? And we need, and we got to employ them. See? We can't just let them hang out there. We got to employ them. But we need money to employ them. That means we got to sell more stuff. See? So we got to open the markets up. And other ways, and not only that, but you got to figure out ways, just going to have the population. You got to create a need to buy this stuff. That's crime creates a need because now, right, you got to buy insurance. Right, you got a replacement for whatever happened to you, doctor bills and all that stuff. You get mugged and all that kind of stuff, right? Lawyers, see, because you're employing other people. See, the crime keeps the economy humming because it's destabilized. Chaos is what keeps this economy going. The more chaos, the better for the economy as it warms up, keeps it humming along. They can't tell you that. They can't. Peace would be totally an enemy to this total enemy to this false reality, to this economic system. I mentioned there's a book called the Iron Mountain Report that they say President Kennedy commissioned right before they killed him, and it speaks to this very issue. They say, is it possible to have peace? If we have peace, what kind of institution we have? And it turns out you'd have to have an institution that mimic war. So in other words, you would have war, but you have other ways to get rid of people. You still have to have the same effect. They just won't call it war. So in other words, instead of going to war and 50,000 people, you lose 50,000 people, your enemy loses 50,000 people, you just kill 50,000 people. And your enemy killed 50,000 people. So basically that's what the book was saying. Called Iron Mountain Report. IRON, Iron Mountain Report. You can Google it. Last I looked a couple of years ago, it was still out there. I don't think you'll find any bookstores, bookshelves. Because you don't understand economics, brothers and sisters. And the economics they teach you is not the economics, the real economics that they living off of. So they're in trouble now. Because on the island, what's the solution on the island I told you about? Only solution is, if you think about it, only solution is to get rid of a lot of people. Get rid of a lot of people. Because the bottom line is, the island cannot support all those people. See? So, because remember, the whole thing is, you got to sell product, people got to buy it so you can pay for the employ people that are there. See? But if you cut a lot of people down, well, okay, then you have to sell less product, and you have less people to employ. So the solution is to get rid of as many people as you can. And that's what their solution is right now. Starting with you. Starting with you. What they need you here for. What they want you here for. He says democratic system. So if they're going to start deciding, you think they're going to get their own people? Or they're going to get you? The decision's already been made because they're already working on getting rid of you. The scriptures tell you that. The earth has too many people on it right now. And they say if it continues, right, I think every 25 years, double itself, that means to be 16 billion. That would be intolerable. See? The earth cannot sustain it. So they have to have something, a war, a major war, something, right, that's going to eradicate a lot of people. Some people say, well, this jab is a slow motion, right, exterminator. I'm not going to comment on that, right? War. You see them flirt with nuclear war. So they have to come up with a new system because this system just will not work. See, it was a predatory system, but its time is over. Even if its time wasn't over, there's still be an issue with it because America's bankrupt right now, technically. And their predatory nature, right, is seen all over the world by those with eyes open, especially in the Middle East. The educated people in the Middle East know exactly what's happening. Because Saudi Arabia's got trillions, America's bought trillions of dollars worth of oil from Saudi Arabia, right? That means America paid trillions of dollars for oil, did they? Remember, it has to be in dollars. Who controls the dollars? And Saudi Arabia doesn't have any banks, so where's that money at? It's in American banks. So America has the oil and the book and the money. See? So they're gonna do the same thing they did with Iran. Iran hates us. Why? Don't hate me. I'm not part of us. Because Iran was a democracy in the 50s. You heard of BP? You've got gas at BP, British Petroleum? Well, British Petroleum was controlling all Iran's oil. And since they developed it, they said they thought it was theirs. And Iran said, that's our oil. And British, it's in their country, right? British, they know that we own it. And they didn't want to share it with the Iranians what they want. They said, figure that's our oil. And so the Iranians nationalized oil, took it. And the British got mad. They got to talk to America, right? And so America sent the CIA in and got rid of the president. He was a president. It was a democracy, a full-fledged democracy. So they say they defend democracies. They didn't do it in this case, and they put the Shah in there. And Shah could teach Saddam Hussein some lessons. He was a tyrant. He was terrible. He killed many people. I forgot the name of that secret agency had, but they was terrible. He was totally oppressive. And he was giving America all kinds of benefits and everything, the oil, cheap, whatever they wanted, he was giving it to them. And he put billions and billions and billions of dollars that he got back in American banks. See, and this is how America rolled with that. So they had the oil and the money. On paper, right? On paper, they had paid Iran like $100 billion or maybe $1 trillion for the oil. That's on paper. But the money was in American banks. So when they disposed the Shah in '79, The Shah came over here trying to get that money. They said, no, you were no good. You was a tyrant. They charged for everything that they wanted him to do. The only problem, only as far as they're concerned, only mistake he made was, not being able to continue to do it. And they said, no, you're not getting anything. But they didn't give it back to the Iranian people. Oh man, you took hostages. Was they set up? They wanted them to do something, anything, right? So it looked like get the American people aroused up against them. So they said, okay, they took all their money. They kept in American banks. So how much they pay for that oil? Nothing. Zero. They got the oil for nothing because they got the money and the oil. And the same thing going on with Saudi Arabia and all these other countries over there. That's why when Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi said, hell with that, we're not using the dollar anymore. Saddam Hussein said he was going to go with the euro, which would destabilize America. Because now all the money because he said he wasn't going to accept dollars, he wanted to convert it all to euros. That means all that money that was that America they had got from America, right? That was still in American banks. Even if it wasn't American bank, it was still. If it wasn't American banks, it was still American money. They could do inflation, they could do anything they wanted to destroy the value of that money. So he said he was getting off there, he was going to Europe. Next thing you know, they set him up with Kuwait, and now he's dead. Same thing Gaddafi. He said he didn't want American money anymore. He wanted real gold. They said, heck with that. Now he's gone. You see? And where's the money? Where's the money that they paid for all that? That was still in American banks. America still has it. So he got all that oil in the Middle East for nothing. And that's why he had people like Bin Laden, all these people. Why is all these top terrorists, they educated people? Why are these top terrorists? They're not ignorant third grade people. They're intelligent people, college degrees and everything else, because they know the game. They try to stop it. They say, well, they terrorists. They try to stop it. Because the thing is they say Saudi Arabia, so-called, it's not Saudi Arabia, it's Arabia, but they say that their oil will last maybe 30 years at most. And then after that, they won't have any oil. And all the money is American banks, trillions of dollars. And so when their oil runs out, America said, well, how you treated women, that's why they're trying to modernize, try to get away from that claim. But America finds something. See? So, hey, we're gonna freeze that money. So they got all the oil out of Arabia for nothing, and all the Arabians got now was just sand. You anybody want to buy sand? You anybody marked for buying sand? That's the game. They're predators, and they made science out of it. They're not gonna pay for. They don't plan to pay a drop for that oil they've been getting. They don't plan to pay. It's only on paper, but they don't plan to pay a dime for nothing. That's part of the reason why they destabilize Russia. Because they can't do that to Russia as long as Russia's a power. If they get oil from there, they got to pay for it. Because that's one of the major producers. See, so they want to destabilize that so they can get control of that oil. But what they doing with Syria, they're just taking it oil. They're taking it. They're over in Syria and they're in another country that never did anything to America, and they physically is taking their oil, taking it. They got troops on site in Syria just taking their oil. Okay? That's predators. And they need things to be destabilized. Because the more destabilized, the more chaotic the system is, the more money they make. Just like no-fault divorce. That makes a lot of money for lawyers. Everything breaks up, now you got to buy, you got all the lawyer stuff that goes on, the legal stuff that goes on, the children, right? Then you got to buy another house. You got to spend kind of money that you wouldn't normally have spent. And conservative societies are worse because it's hard to break those societies. And that's why one of the problems they're going out to the Middle East, not just the oil, but they want to open up that as a market to sell more stuff. And those people over there are very conservative. They don't buy a lot of stuff. They don't move around. You got people who say, man, my great-great-great-grandfather bought this house maybe 1,000 years ago. They still live there. Here you can't find anybody living in a house more than 10 years, if that. They're very conservative people. So they had to go destabilize it. Libya was very stable. I mean, people was very well taken care of. People had health benefits and everything else. They didn't have to pay for it. Gaddafi took care of his people. But now it's a shithole over there now. See? And so now they can sell them all kinds of weapons and stuff. That's another market. They got to sell stuff because they got this population they got to employ. And they see the handwriting on the wall. They cannot sustain it because the earth cannot. They have to have the population has to grow to make the system work. But the earth can't withstand the population. I guess that's a simple way to say it. The population has to grow to withstand to sustain this system. But the earth cannot supply the population. It cannot supply, furnish this amount of people. It's a burden on the earth. You understand? Am I saying it clear enough, brothers and sisters? To keep the system going, they need more and more people. Because as people grow, right, then they have to hire them, so they need more and more people to buy stuff. And so one way is to stabilize it so people have reason to keep buying stuff all the time. But the earth cannot sustain this amount of people. And the people are growing. So it won't work. And they know it won't work. That's why they're in debt and everything else. So they keep everything destabilized all over the planet. That's good for business, right? If anything else, going to sell weapons. See? They can sell that. And then they stabilize the country. Then what happens? Then they send the engineers and everything to rebuild it. Keep people employed. Keep things going. Send the military in. That's the way it works, brothers and sisters. But it's not working because the earth cannot sustain that large population. They need to have a big, larger population. So population can't go to infinity. And the more population, the greater strain on the earth. That's why the Quran says earth has to relieve her burden. See? That's the problem, this system. But the thing is the other fact about it is that now they've come to the end. They're winter people, but now we're spring. So they have no power. They think they have power. They have instincts of power, but not the power. See? So disaster is right around the corner. Disaster is right around the corner. Because America is essentially a paper tower. Paper tiger. You know, it's like I said, you can't go in your backyard. It's springtime now. It's March 21st, spring, first day of spring, right? And you got this big mound of ice in your backyard. So you can't go out and do anything. But you ain't worried, because you know in a couple of days it's going to be gone. So it looks formidable now, but in a couple of days it's going to be gone. See? So it's spring now, and you see America's big armies and all this stuff, and you know in a few days it's going to be gone. Because they have no power anymore. Ice has no power in the springtime. In the summertime, in the fall, and in the winter, it had all power because it was that season. If that season fueled it, it was in sync with it. So it was formidable. Snowball, snowman, ice, snow, sleet, formidable. Blizzards, snowstorms, ice storms, icicles. See, all over the place, formidable. And then in spring, it just disappears. May take a couple of days, but it's gone. You can see it literally disappearing. And that's where America is right now. They had 6,000 years. That's this whole season. You got four seasons, 6,000 years, plus 6,000 years, plus 6,000 years, 4 times. That's 24,000 years. That's approximately the Earth cycle. And so now time is up. Now they enter into the spring. And so now they have all these problems. See, it's heating up. Because spring comes heating up. So we get an energy wave every 50 years, and now this one that's already hit the Earth. Earth is generating energy. It's converting energy to a form we can use. It's heating up. And that heat, right, like on a pressure cooker, the more heat, the more pressure you get. And they can't withstand pressure. They can't. It was made in tension. Tension is the opposite of pressure. The universe is full extension is in a state of tension. And they was created in a state of tension. So they was not. We self-created, right? If you want to use that word, under pressure, so we can stand the pressure of a fully compressed universe. So that means the Earth, as the Earth compressing, we can withstand all the way to the beginning to totally compressed again. But they was made in tension. Now the Earth is going into pressure stage again, and they can't withstand the pressure. So that pressure is crushing them. they're being crushed out of existence by us, not by some mystery God, because we're the personification of their destruction. So Suleiman and the God is personification of their destruction, right? That's the consequence of the things they did over beyond the call of what they was allowed to do. They went beyond the God's limits, and so now they produced, because they threw the whole universe out of balance, and so they produce, because when we say another nation, when you throw a nation out of balance, it'll produce a God and a high priest to restore the balance. See, because the high priest, he's the judge, and the God is the executioner. See, judge passed the sentence, and the executioner, he imposed the sentence. In this case, it's death. So I hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. See, they're a predator nation with their democracy and with their capitalism. I mean, slavery was a capitalist system. Maximum profit. See, you get maximum pay. You get maximum without having to pay anything. See, that's profit, maximum profit. See, you get your workers to work, and you don't have to pay them anything. That's capitalism at its very best. See? But all this going away, because we won't have a system like this, nothing like it. Nothing, not even close. See, they say capitalism freed the world from poverty. No, capitalism impoverished the whole world. See that picture behind me? They impoverished us. We was free before we came over here. We weren't capitalists. We didn't know anything about capitalism. You didn't find capitalism any place you went in the world until they bought it there. And when they bought it, right, they bought it under the banner of the cross. Capitalism and the cross. See, confusion, right, the cross, and energy deprivation, the theft, right, and murder under capitalism. They brought the two together. They said, well, democracy just, right, it's a political system that goes with it. See, and it goes with them handily. See, because the devils and demons that's running it, and their whole purpose, right, is to maintain control over us. Keep us stupid and dumb, because that's what we program us to be. Negro butts, stupid, dumb. All we got to do is just do whatever our program tells us to do. Whatever master tells us to do, that's what we're programmed to do. Do whatever master told us to do. And that's what we've been doing. But you're about to be deprogrammed. That's the predators. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. This is like a supplement to Predators 1. This is Predators 2. Try to make you understand it. America's a predatory country. All the Europeans are predatory countries. They got rich off taking stuff from other people else. How did Britain, the first world empire, European world empire, they came and took stuff. They didn't have any natural resource in Britain. They came and took everything from everybody else. That's how America got started. That's where Magog and Magog. Magog is the mother of Gog. That's what it means. See? So they came in, and Britain came over here and stole the stuff the people had. Stole the land and killed the people. America, Gog finished the job off. That's how they got it. Because they're a predator nation. And that's how they maintain it. Invading other countries, taking their stuff. Just like Trump was just taking that Syria. Why are you taking Syria off? Syria never did anything in America. So why are they taking their oil? Is America rich enough? Because that's the nature of predators, capitalists, greed. Just take all you can. It doesn't really benefit them, but they think it does. Because everybody has the same amount of energy. So if you take more than you're supposed to, then you create negative clouds over yourself. Predators. You need to understand that, brothers and sisters. You need to understand the predator. You understand the demons. Demons are master's children, black-faced children. You start as a sperm. Nothing can change it. Nothing can change your nature. You might look like your mother and everything else, but your nature's going to be with your father. If you have any love at all, it's going to be towards him. If you hate it, you hate it because he don't accept you as one of his. That's why you hate. If you hate him, see. But if he starts accepting you, then you be in love with him. See. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See, they say circumcision. If you want to be successful in this reality, you have to be circumcised. I know there's a value in men for doing that. right? Because it helps the women. I'm told it helps prevent cervical cancer, stuff like that. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about get rid of that black skin, circumcise that black skin, and you see them, the demons, right? They're dark-skinned demons. Because how do they get dark? Because they were master children, but they weren't going to let them sleep with master daughters. So if they slept with anybody, they sleep with other slaves. So they might have been light-skinned as master children, but then their children will be dark-skinned and some of them jet black. But they still be, if they come along the line of come along master lines, they still master children, still demons. If they're on the paternal line, they're still demons. You see. You have to understand that. And the whole idea is to keep you confused and destroy you. They don't love you, they love daddy. And they're the worst hidden enemy, worst enemy we ever had. Because we didn't recognize them. They were skin folk. And you had to watch them very closely to determine they wasn't, and most black folks still don't see the difference. And they get upset when you bring it up. See? Just like a wolf in sheep clothing. Don't pay attention to nature. You should act different. Man, what you mean, man? I look just like you. See? I'm a sheep just like you. Were you divisive? That's what they're going to say. Because they don't want you to focus on nature. They want you to focus on tone, skin tone. No, we focus on nature here, brothers and sisters. So hope you understand. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Because your life is going to depend on it. See? Because their time is up. But they're going to try to take you down women, demons specifically. They want to stay here with dad. But you have an option to get the hell out of here. You already paid the price. You get with this message, you get your ass out of here. That's why I said, come out of our people. Why are you willing to die with these people? Because if you stay here, you're going to die with them. Just like with Sodom and Gomorrah. If you stayed in that town when the hell came down, you was destroyed too. No matter who you call yourself, righteous or whatever. They told you to flee. So you might be up there in your FY suit and everything. Tomorrow, I got Mr. Black Man. Well, if you were still in there, you're going to get burned up just like everybody else. You're burned up like everyone else. So why would you die? When you can get your name in the Lamb's Book of Life. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a free gift. We don't ask you for a dime here. We will never ask you for a dime here. And we don't tell you what to do. Right? We just want you, we just tell you, give you information, you can use it. However you want to use it. And the way you should be using it is to benefit yourself and to benefit your people. That's how you get your name in the Lamb's Book of Life. If you take energy that you have, because we have enough energy to maintain ourselves now, to take and better yourself and to get this message to our people. That gets your name in the Lamb's Book of Life. And then you got a free ticket right out here when time comes. That's up to you, brother and sister. Nobody's going to force you. But you will get the message. In a few more days, you will get the message. See, because we're going to, Master Muhammad's going to lock up your heart. He's going to freeze your heart. He's going to paralyze your heart. See, when your heart gets paralyzed, then it communicates to the brain and says, what do I do? Now we want to submit to the brain. And this knowledge will be there for you to know what to do. Because if I wasn't giving you this knowledge, you would know your heart would paralyze and you would have no idea. So you just stand here and get run over by an 18-wheeler. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Stop the bullshit. There's no bullshit zone. We give you clear. See? They have to get rid of a lot of people to keep the system going, but it's too late for that because their time is up. But they're going to do a lot of damage because they still think that way. See? You got the bully that has no power, but he still got bully instincts. So they're going to gang up on him. But before they gang up on him, he might hurt a few people before they finally bring him down. And I give this analogy again about the ugly person, born ugly. Born butt ugly, I mean triple butt ugly. You've never seen anybody uglier than that. But they've never seen a mirror. And people feel sorry for them. They tell them, man, you look beautiful. You're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And they believe in me because that's what everybody's telling them. So they walk to y'all's house, walk through the head high, wearing nice clothes, stuff to my, thinking how beautiful they are. And everybody's on board with this, right? And then one day they walked to a mirror. Boom, what the hell was that? And then come after a point in time, they realize that that's their image. And realize they've been lied to. They're ugly as hell. So what do you think they would do? First thing they do is get rid of that damn mirror. So they can go back to their way of thinking before, right? Their comfort zone of thinking. Get rid of that damn mirror. See? That same thing false Israel have. Because we the miracle, we the true thing. We the true image. They live in a false image. They've been told they're true seed Abraham and all this stuff. They live a false image. And now they, in a few more days, they'll come contract with us face to face. See, and they're going to realize, to their demise, because they're going down. The ones in America will know, but those over there, they might know in the way going down, but they're going down. And they're going to realize that they are evil, wicked people, like Jesus said. And also the Europeans over here, they're going to realize also. They're going to realize also that they're not beautiful. They're genocidal maniacs, rapists, murderers, thieves and robbers. See? So what do you think they would do? First thing, get rid of that mirror. Get rid of us. Get rid of us. Because we remind them who they really are. But we're true to Abraham, and they torment us and everything else. Hopefully that my God might forgive them somehow if they give us reparations and all this BS. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Predator nation, capitalism, exploitation. It's all about exploitation. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I think I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I went wild, didn't I? Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I may have a part 3, brothers and sisters. A couple of things, points I may have missed. I think I'm going to leave it there. Okay, into my audio family. This is the excuse me. Yes, that's the right time. Excuse me. To my black, original, not to the demons. Original black family out there is listening, right? It's the black alert hour of the fire zone. Out. And to my video family, thanks for listening. Sulaiman Rahim, Messenger of the Covenant, break our 7 seals. Assalamu alaikum.